They called him worthless, a man covered in grease, living in the shadows of a bustling airport. His name was Horace, a 42-year-old ground technician who worked contract shifts just to survive. Most pilots didn't bother to remember his name. Most engineers rolled their eyes when he walked into the hangar. Even the airport staff avoided him at lunch breaks. But Harris never complained. His hands, scarred and strong, told a story of years fixing engines and forgotten parts with whatever tools he had or none at all. That morning, the sun barely broke the sky when a private jet preparing for a VIP. Takeoff suddenly jolted to a halt. Alarms blared. Inside were diplomats, tech billionaires, and even a foreign prince. The main hydraulic system had failed mid-taxi, and backup controls were also unresponsive. Panic spread through the crew. Technicians scrambled, but the chief engineer wasn't on site yet. The tower was about to call for full emergency protocols. Harry stood at the edge, helmet under arm, watching. A younger tech brushed past him. "Stay out of the way," he sneered. But Harris stepped forward. "Give me 3 minutes," he said to the frantic co-pilot who had rushed out. Desperation breeds trust, and they allowed him access. He slid under the belly of the jet without hesitation. It was a mess. Wires melted, fluid leaking. No one else wanted to touch it without tools, but Harris didn't blink. With bare oil-stained hands, he isolated the pressure valve, used a zip tie from his own pocket to stop a loose connector from sparking, and bypassed the lock mechanism using a folded piece of metal from his belt buckle. He whispered under his breath, "Come on, old bird. Breathe." The plane jolted. Systems restarted. From inside, lights returned to green. The captain stared at the readings in disbelief. Cheers erupted around the runway. Pilots ran to Harris, stunned. A man who had been called useless had just saved lives with nothing but experience, instinct, and his hands. The prince himself shook Harris's hand with both of his and said, "I've flown in jets all my life. Never have I owed so much to someone so humble." Within days, his story hit international headlines. Mechanic saves diplomats with bare hands. The airport gave him a permanent position. A tech company offered him a consultancy contract. But Horace didn't let the fame change him. He still wore the same overalls, still wiped grease on the same cloth. Except now, when he walked through the hangar, heads turned, not in mockery, but in respect. Because sometimes, the ones we dismiss are the only ones who can save us when everything is on the line. Shorter, emotionally stronger version, Harris, 42, was always ignored. Just a nameless, greasy mechanic working in the shadows of a busy airport. No one thought he mattered. That changed the day a private jet full of global VIPs suffered a total hydraulic failure just minutes before takeoff.